Today, we welcome Kelly Anthony, law school class of 2009 and MBA class of 2015, to the podcast. Kelly currently serves on the staff of the Career Center here at Valpo, where she is an assistant director who helps students and alumni by providing personalized and impactful service. Kelly, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Michael.
So, Kelly, why don't you go ahead and start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your time after graduating from Valpo?
Sure. Well, as you said, I'm a 2009 graduate of Valpo's Law School, and I also earned my MBA from Valpo in 2015. After law school, I worked in law admissions for just over 9 years, where I read through thousands of resumes. And in 2018, I joined the Valpo Career Center team.
So to get started, coming straight out of college, Kelly, what would you say is the number one tip for job searching?
Well, Michael, it is hard to pick just one tip, but many students narrow their search too much. Students really do need to consider a wide variety of fields. They need to be flexible in terms of the job function, industry, and even the geographic location. In that way, students need to be self-aware. They need to know their strengths, their weaknesses, their interests, and preferences. I know networking seems to be an overused word, but new graduates need to meet people. They need to network and ask them for information and advice. Valpo Connect, powered by Wiser, is a great way to do this. The link to join is on both the Alumni and Career Center's websites, and I'm sure Michael is also linking them in the show notes for today, too.
We sure will. Some of our alumni might be preparing to clean up their resume during any bit of downtime that they might have. What suggestions would you give to someone looking for that second or third job?
Resumes should be geared to the job you want, not the jobs you've had. So you need to review your previous experience and accomplishments, but don't get bogged down in the details. You really should be focused on the future and not the past. To that point, get rid of the objective statement. Your resume should start with a skills summary or a professional profile that focuses on your key strengths, skills, and experiences. Ultimately, what is it that you can do for that organization? Besides cleaning up your resume, you can make yourself more marketable by doing several things. You need to network and meet people, like we just said. Let them know you're searching. Use Valpo Connect, use LinkedIn, and even a high school network or another professional alumni network. Virtual sessions are offered through the Career Center and through other sites too. We do things like building your LinkedIn profile, resume do's and don'ts. All of our sessions that are offered through Valparaiso University are promoted through Handshake, which all alumni have an account, and they're also posted on the Career Center Instagram and Facebook accounts. In addition to the above, you can also use recruiting or staffing agencies, and most of those don't charge a fee to you.
So what are the biggest mistakes you see people make when they're working on their resumes?
This is probably my favorite question, Michael. Several points. One of them would be people are too wordy. They're not specific. They don't use keywords, and there's no outcome, impact, or results. Essentially, the bullet points on a resume should be action-oriented and results-focused. Each bullet should provide specific examples of your experience in enough scope so that the reader can understand exactly what you did and why it's important. All too often, job seekers list basic job duties in an effort to keep things short, or they list accomplishments with no additional information to back them up. Remember, explanation adds credibility, and you're expected to talk to your resume if you get that interview. Another mistake I see, Michael, is using templates, essentially getting too fancy. You can show your personality without your resume being distracting. Formatting should be clean and legible, and unless you are in graphic design or another artistic field, you should really stick to a traditional look and feel. So no photos, logos, or other distractions. Do yourself a favor and avoid the temptation to use a fill-in-the-blank template or online template service. While templates are a quick and easy way to create a resume, they come with a number of disadvantages. The space on your resume is finite. Templates often include strange spacing and formatting that makes it difficult for users to make changes when they need to. So you can easily waste a lot of space. Where you could have a sentence or two about your previous experience, you're instead stuck with unnecessary blank space that won't go away no matter how many times you hit the delete key. It is a good idea to take some ideas from existing resumes, including templates, but find a way to make it your own. Your resume is a representation of your professional self. Don't misrepresent yourself with a lackluster resume copied from a website, claiming to have the best resume templates ever. It's just not a good idea. But essentially, Michael, regardless of the format you implement, the resume should be clear, concise, and error-free. So choose to highlight experiences and skills that are most relevant to the position to which you are applying. Do not list everything you have done in the past. Remember, the goal of the resume is to represent you, your skills, experiences, and competencies while creating interest on the part of the reader. So to sum up this question, keep in mind that your resume also needs to get through an applicant tracking system, an ATS. So you need to tailor your resume to the job and use keywords. So try to avoid tables, text boxes, logos, images, visuals, columns even, and putting things in header and footers. These things typically can't be read through an ATS system.
So what would you say are the top 3 tips you would give to someone working on their resume?
Number one, Michael, I would have a lot of people look at your resume. The more sets of eyes, the better. You want to make sure that you see not just one person's opinion, but numerous people, and then you edit as you see fit. Another tip I have is that most employers, regardless of the industry, will spend 30 seconds or less reviewing a resume to decide whether the candidate will receive an interview. So to increase your chances of receiving an interview and effectively conveying your qualifications and skills to an employer, the resume must be written in a concise manner. It needs to be easy to read or skim and provide strong, relevant information. Employers should not have to search the resume for information, nor interpret the meaning of a bullet point. So therefore, 1 to 2 pages max with appropriate white space. The third tip I have is to make sure your resume is error-free. A 2013 Career Builder study found that 58% of resumes have typos. That's a lot. Recruiters are looking for reasons to remove candidates from the stack of the numerous resumes they receive for each job opening. Typos and grammatical errors are the easiest way to ensure they do not do that.
And finally, any final thoughts to share with our alumni or anyone listening?
Sure. Employers aren't just looking at resumes now, they are also looking at your social media presence. So keep your LinkedIn profile up to date. You can listen to Becky Klein's podcast to get some tips, and be aware of your privacy settings on things like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, since employers can see those things. The last thing I want to mention is the Career Center is not just open to current students, but also to alumni. And we are obviously open virtually now. So go ahead and you can email career.center@valpo.edu, or you can leave us a message at 219-464-5005 with any questions, and we're happy to help you.
Kelly, thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom and lessons from the field with us. I know I speak on behalf of my department and our Valpo alumni that we truly appreciate this information.